Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to trade flag patterns like a professional investor. We're going to start off with the basics and then I'm going to show you guys how to add specific tools to your chart so you guys can have a solid trading plan from beginning to finish. So by the end of this video, you guys are going to know how to identify a flag pattern, when to open a position, and when to close that same position. Let's get started. Flags are areas of tight consolidation and price action showing a counter trend move that follows directly after a sharp directional movement in price. The pattern typically consists of between 5 and 20 price bars. Flag patterns can be either upward trending, aka bullish, or downward trending, aka bearish. Now from here on guys, if you have any questions whatsoever, please make sure to comment them down below. Here we have a bullish flag set up, so let's talk about how we know it's a flag and how to make some great money by trading it. Remember, you guys are learning how to trade like professionals, so the profits you'll be making will be much more than you guys expect. We are talking about 200 to 1000% profits with options, or 10 to 30% without, and this is with a swing trade. So now I'm going to walk you guys through an entire trade from beginning to end, that way you guys understand what's going on here. So right now we have Micron Technologies on the screen. This works for stocks, options, crypto, whatever, but for now we're just going to stick to stocks here, maybe crypto on the next example. Now what we're looking at here is a flag, a bullish flag. We got our level of resistance up here. I'd recommend when you guys add trend lines that you guys put the magnet tool on, that way it snaps on. That way you guys know the exact level you guys are gonna have to break out above if you guys actually want to buy and open up that long position. On the other side over here, now we have our support level. You can see we actually broke down below it a little bit, but we did not close down below it, which is very, very good for us. Now, some of you guys may zoom out and say, hey, Michael, this doesn't look like a perfect channel. Rarely ever are you going to see these flags be perpendicular. These lines are hardly ever perpendicular. I've never actually seen it happen once. So if you guys zoom out, it's going to look a lot more like a falling wedge. And guess what? A falling wedge pattern is a bullish pattern. So, just keep that in mind as well. Now, we have a few parts we need to talk about. First, we have our uptrend. Then we have our resting period within the flag. And this is where you start to see people that have bought up start to sell some of their positions and take their profits. And then you're also seeing new people starting to load up in anticipation for long-term gains because they hope eventually the price will continue on its move, and they don't want to buy the breakout. They just want to buy whenever and take the profits. Usually you see institutions buying more over here because there's less breakouts, less big technical reasons for buying. All right. So let's move forward here and see what happens over time. You guys aren't trading. You guys aren't trading this entire time. You guys are just patiently waiting. You guys are going to be doing this with multitudes of stocks and cryptocurrencies. That way you guys always have something to trade, but you're not going to be over trading one particular stock. Still not doing anything, guys. You guys haven't even started to formulate a plan. All you guys have are these two trend lines here, and that's it. All right. Now we found a little bit of a bottom here. Things are looking okay. Hey, maybe we have an opportunity to break out here. Maybe I should start planning. In this circumstance, you're just trying to wait until the exact moment where we break out, and then a lot of the planning is done. Okay, right here. So at this moment in time, there's a few things you guys are doing here. The day is almost done. Towards the last 30 minutes of the day, you guys want to be opening up a long position here. If you guys are just buying stocks or shares of stocks, you guys can just buy at whatever price you feel is appropriate. Right now, the current price at this day was like $74.38. That is A-okay to be buying there. If you guys are buying options, you guys want to be buying strike prices, or excuse me, you want to be buying options with an expiration date about a month out or 3 weeks out if there's been a long consolidation period that's been over months in the making, all right? Now, you want to have realistic expectations if you guys are going to be buying options. You can see that we've been, grinding down here for a while. So if you guys want to have something pretty decent, I like to go to a strike price that's kind of out of the money at a formal level of resistance. In this case, we're too close to this one, so I'm not going to really worry about $75 strike price. But up here, I think it's more realistic for $82 strike price. That's going to be something you guys are going to be looking at more. Normally, you can go from here, but sometimes, we are already there. You're not going to expect the break. You're expecting the breakout to go much higher than just that, and probably even higher than that. But you guys aren't going to be so greedy if you guys are going to be trading options, right? Because the money you guys are going to be making is going to be so great that you're just going to be like, well, who cares? I made a bunch of money off of that trade. Now, here's a couple tools that you guys should be adding on to these charts just to kind of help you out a little bit more. Now, you can see we had the lows of 2020 here. What you guys want to be adding on to this chart, since we've had such a long consolidation period, is going to be a trend-based fib extension here. Now, you can add these wherever you want across charts. I have a specific tutorial talking about these if you guys want, and I'll put that as one of the videos you guys can watch after this. But what you guys want to do is you want to add a trend-based fib extension level so you guys know exactly when to start selling off or when to start having some stop losses. And the cool thing is, now that you've had a breakout, you know that this is actually the bottom and you can actually put this Fibonacci extension tool right there. All right. Now, where I like to scale out here is I like to scale out at the red line, the green line here, and this other green line majority of the time. Your overall goal is to get to 1, but this breakout, if that were to occur, that would mean Micron Technologies would have to go up 81%. And I don't see any stock going up 81% unless it has some really fantastic earnings. But since we've had a nice consolidation, I could see it getting back up to here to the highs way back over here from April 13th of 2021. I could even see it getting all the way up here to, what, $106 or so. Those are great plays. But you guys have to be realistic. If you guys are trading options, you're only going to be in this trade for maybe a few weeks to a month. If you guys are trading stocks, then that allows you guys to actually hold these positions for a much longer period of time. But you're not going to be making as much profit as somebody that opened up an options play. So there's kind of give and take there. So now we've opened up our trades. And let's just say for now, I'll add this little tool here. We want to have some type of selling, right here. We want to sell a little bit right here, and a little bit right here if we make it up here. And if we make it all the way up here, awesome. Now, there's something I want you guys to understand here as well. You guys can choose to either buy it all here and then sell it all here, sell it all here, sell it all here, or what you guys can do is sell 10% of your assets here, 10% of your assets here, 50% here, and 30% here. You guys are going to have to determine which one works best for you, because a lot of times if you're too greedy, then it could fall down and it might not ever hit that price, and then you're losing money. On the other hand, if you sell everything right here, you might kick yourself, in the back or the foot, the butt, whatever, because you sold right here and the price kept on going up. You guys will have to find that balance over time. A lot of times you want to be making sure that there's no earnings coming up anytime soon, or there's no dividends. Sometimes the price tends to drop after dividends, okay? Now, for this example, this is the plan I'm going to work out for us. Text. Let's just do, we sell 10% here on the first level of resistance. Just a little bit, just to make sure in case any bad news happens, we actually made some profit off of this trade. The next one we're going to be looking at, well, why don't we just sell 25% off here? Put that percent sign just so I'm consistent. All right. After that, how about we sell another 25%? That's not too bad. And right there we have 60%. And let's say I want to sell off the last 40% here if we actually do run into that last level of resistance that we've been talking about, the 106 level. Because realistically, if that were to happen, that means the breakout went up about 47%. All right? And now we'll be doing other stuff as this trade kind of goes through, but I want you guys to understand this is the setup you guys have on the day of the trade. You have everything planned out. Now it's time to see what actually occurs. And then the very last thing here you guys want to have is you guys want to have some type of stop loss. Preferably you want it to stay above this line, but sometimes we do have these little fake outs where institutions try to trick people and they try to get them to sell before the initial pump really takes off. All right. What I like to do typically is I like to have a 3% stop loss on the particular coin here or particular stock. And so this one, the 3% stop loss would really take us back down here to $72 or so. Not bad. I would actually probably lower that on a little bit here to this last level of support. You can see support and resistance. I actually think a level of $70.92 would actually be better. They might actually think of that little support right here, and they might try to trick us back down. All right, but $70.89. So let's push go. We see it with a little drop, but nothing too crazy here. We're moving up bit by bit, and then boom. I would have actually probably had to sell somewhere around here, depending on how the market looked. But you guys can see so far, now we only have 90% of our trade still in the market. We've managed to take some profits. We've made some realized gains. That's awesome. And you can see it consolidates here for a while. It stopped just for a couple days to test out this level, then broke out again. Now you've sold off 35% of your entire trade, and it's already been 51 days. All right. So if you guys were trading options, you guys might have already actually just sold some of it off here for maybe a few 100%. If you guys were still holding stocks, then guess what? You guys would still be holding this right now. And of course, if you guys trade options, you guys can go further out than a month. Sometimes those just get a little too expensive for the average investor. That's why I don't talk about them too much. All right. But moving up here, it tapped on it. At that point in time, it actually did make contact with it. So technically, you guys would now be out. 60% of your entire position is now sold off. And you're just waiting, and whoosh, look at that, came screaming back down here. So what I'd recommend, in case this happened, you guys would want to use these levels as stop losses once you guys make contact with the next level, or if you guys wanted to have some type of trailing stop loss, you can do that as well. But what you saw is we didn't actually make it up to this next level. We only came into contact with this green line here, and we got rejected off of that price. This price was around 98 bucks and 48 cents. So what does that mean? You were able to sell 10%, 25, 60% of your position, traded perfectly how you expected it. The last 40% that you wanted to be a little bit more aggressive on, it didn't end up working out. So you guys will have to determine throughout this trading period, when do you guys feel like you guys have made enough money if the price continues to start coming back down? A lot of you guys will probably just use the next level of support, which happens to be this green line here on this Fibonacci extension tool. Or if you guys want to do something else, you guys can simply go from the point of the pivot here where the breakout actually started to occur way over here, draw this out right here, and you guys could just use this as a level of support if you guys wanted to do that as well. All right. Now let's talk about if we are in a bearish circumstance and you guys want to start shorting an asset. Here we have Bitcoin, and you see all this massive price action we've had over the past couple of years or so. But can you guys see the flag right now? If you guys can't, I'll add it onto the screen for you. Remember to also have the magnet on so you guys have precise data here. Precise trend lines are going to be very, very important so you guys know when to open up your position. All right. Resistance, we got support over here. Everything looks fine. You guys, again, will be trading a lot throughout the, these small moves that you see inside of this pattern. But overall, you're going to be waiting for the big move because those big moves are where you're going to be making the majority of your income for the entire year. You make small amounts of money here for vacations and fun stuff. Here's where you make the life-changing money, where you make a couple $100,000 or even just $50,000, even just $10,000 just for holding for a few days if you guys know what you're doing, all right? Now for crypto, you can trade with leverage, stuff like that, but in the stock market, you have options. So there's ways for you guys to increase your revenue without just buying or shorting. Buying and shorting is okay if you're new. Eventually, you guys want to start moving over to leverage and some of those more professional techniques, which I have videos for if you guys want to check them out later on. Now, let's push play. Let it consolidate here. All you guys are doing is a little bit of trading. There's no reason to have a plan yet for this bear market here. Not too much of a plan, at least yet. So now we're getting a little bit closer. Sure. We're getting close enough. Now we can kind of zoom out. A lot of you guys may actually already have the technical analysis that you actually need for support levels, because when we're coming back down, we're running into support, while when we're going towards all-time highs, it can be very hard sometimes to actually find a level of resistance in no man's land. So what I like to do is I like to put a few different trend lines on my chart from way back in the day, especially for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has these monster drops. Understand what you're trading. It'll help you out a lot when determining that technical analysis there. And let's put this over here as well. All right, there's two. They're pretty tied together. So what I'll do is I'll add one more, probably after when things really started to rocket ship up here. I can add one more right about there, okay? And then you could also add Gann fan levels, Fibonacci circles, after Taurus for all those if you guys want to learn them. They're all going to be giving you guys some great opportunities to find support, all right? But for now, we can see we're close to breaking down, or at least close to testing out support. I know the future here, so do you guys. So we do know we broke down here. We bounced up for a fake out, and then we got rejected. And now this is what you guys are going to be doing. You guys are going to be opening up a short at the end of the day here, or the time we broke down. It depends on you guys. Preferably you want to wait for the day to close, but sometimes with Bitcoin, it just slams down pretty hard. So what are we looking for here? Same thing as before. I like to sell around clusters at first, just because, we're looking for a major move down, because we consolidated for about, let's say about 103 days. You can expect a pretty sizable move if you're consolidating for that period of time, especially with Bitcoin. So let's say for this one, I want to sell here, and I want to sell here. This is 27,000. And let's say maybe I want to sell down here at 22,000 if we make it down that low on this big crash here. Who knows? Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. And for this circumstance, you guys really want to understand what you guys are trading here. So I would probably sell around 10% right here of my Bitcoin. short position right around here. And then I see we have 30,000 right here. I could see that being a level of resistance, couldn't you guys? A lot of times it's not just Fibonacci levels, it's just the cold hard numbers of Bitcoin, because that's how all the whales kind of buy up their positions. Here, let's say for now, let's say I'd probably want to do about 20, well, let's say 25%. I want to get this position pretty fast because Bitcoin can be very, very volatile. Sometimes you buy a lot, sometimes you're forced to sell a lot. All right, some right here as well. And then maybe another 25% right here. There we go as well. And then maybe down here, I want to sell the rest of it off. And that's like, if we have a really nasty wick or something that comes down, I want to make sure I take all the profits I can. And the last one right here is going to be about 40%, just like how we had it with the other one. And you guys will adjust this to whatever you guys want to. Some of you guys want to sell more faster. Some of you guys want to do 100% down here or 100% down here. Whatever you guys like, trial and error will help you guys determine if you guys are having the right plan for yourself. All right. It depends a lot on your emotional stability as well while trading. But here we play everything out. All right. And just like that, within a few days, a couple weeks period of time, we sold off 10%, 25%, another 25%. We're 50% out. You're hoping it will continue to come down. So far for Bitcoin, that is not the case, as most of you guys know watching this video now. However, you still managed to sell 50%, 10%, 60% of your assets. And then what are we talking about? Using an old level of resistance here. That way you guys know to, hey, sell off the rest of your position. That way you guys know that, hey, you open a short right here. You took profit here at 8% down. You took profit here at 17% down. You took profit at 27% down. And you also took profit again at 17% down. And just so you guys can understand what that may look like for you guys, let's say, let's just say on average here, I'm just going to make a number up for you guys. On average, you made about 17% back. All right, 17%. If you guys had a 10x leverage play, that 17% would equal about 170% for just holding for about 4 days. 170% for 4 days. That's great. If you guys held a little bit longer, or specifically this 25% of your investment, if you sold it at 27% profit, you made 270% profit in just a week off of that 25% of that initial trade. All right. And if it worked all the way over here, you would have made even more money, but it didn't. So you would have had to sell it at that level, that stop loss that you guys put in place for yourself. All right. But those are some tools to help you guys out. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. Please make sure to subscribe. And if you guys have any other patterns you guys want me to do, please let me know.